Hey there, it's Adrian from Drone Spray Canada. Just wanted to show you guys what we've taught a lot of applicators and how to do a greenhouse. Today it's a 36-acre structure. We're applying Redu Heat. It's a very high volume application compared to other products like Redu Sol or Redu Clean. We're doing 128 gallons per acre. Today we're working a team of 2 T100s. Some of the settings that we typically like to be a little on the higher side of droplets, just because there's so much volume. We are flooding that roof with product, and of course we want to fly it as fast as we can. And then one of the techniques that we use to keep the drone above the roof more effortlessly is you turn off your terrain following your altitude stabilization, because sometimes what'll happen is it'll see the roof and sometimes it won't, so it'll jump up and down. So we've always turned that off when we do greenhouses. But if you set your return to home altitude just above the height of the roof by another 10-15 feet, we'll be at that height we want to apply, and then it's very effortless to have the drone just come and to take off, and it'll go right to the height that it won't jump up and down. You don't have to play with any adjustments when you're flying it. If you do find it's too low or too high, you can always adjust your altitude with that stabilization off with the left-hand stick. But as you'll see here, when we do this takeoff, it's going to go and stay at the right height to do this application. So it takes off. Because we have that set at right now on this particular greenhouse and where we're set up, it's right at 26 feet as a return to home. And it will stay at that 26 feet relative to our takeoff point. Even on our screen here, it is showing that the drone is at 9 feet above the roof. You will see that jump up and down a little bit as we go. So by turning that altitude stabilization off, it just makes life a lot easier for the drone. So you might be wondering what we're doing here. What we're doing is applying a special coating. It's kind of like a paint. This one here, the Redu Heat, it's got like a pearl finish to it. When we're mixing it, it looks really like the inside of an oyster shell. So what happens is it actually gets too hot during the summertime, and so we want to apply certain coatings. This one reflects certain light waves, lets certain growing lights in, and is good for the plants. This is a job that's traditionally been done either by helicopters, or again, there's some special gantries that go on the roof, and there's a guy with a hose or a special machine that does this. The drones have been very cost-effective, very efficient way of doing this. Again, we can come and do this in multiple passes. Say sometimes we'll do 2 or 3 pails to the acre and come back in and do some more later as the season gets warmer. We'll come back in the fall and apply a special cleaning solution to this. This is how this greenhouse coating system works. Right now we're doing a 36-acre greenhouse. Right now each drone is doing about 2 acres per hour at that 128 gallon per acre rate. So this job should take us about 9 hours. So the product we're using today is the Redu Heat. This stuff here comes in the pail. There's 13.5 liters or 3.57 gallons to a bucket. With this one here in particular, we do a 1:5 dilution. Essentially, in our 65-gallon batch tank, we're making 3 of these pails and then 57 gallons of water. We're doing 6 pails to the acre, so that's where we're getting our 128 gallons to the acre. So with this product, typically we have to come and remove this in the fall. There'll be a Redu Clean soap that we use. It's also at a 1:3 dilution ratio. You'll have to time that with the rain. If you're removing Redu Sol or Redu Heat, you have to rain within a week. If you're using Redu fuse, it has to rain within 2 days. One of the big things with the greenhouses and managing heat, when we apply, we want to go when it's cooler, because if the temperatures start to exceed 30 degrees Celsius, again, the grower will be the expert on this one. He's going to ask you to stop, because we want to have those vents closed when we apply so that no product gets into the greenhouse and into the plants. So if their temperatures get too high, you have to stop, open the vents up, release the heat, and then you can keep on going. If you want to try to work at night, do be very conscientious. The dew will mess up the coating. You don't want to apply this also within 12 hours of a rain. It has to cure before it actually gets water on it. Also with that one, if you're trying to be really keen and do this early March or early April, do watch your temperatures. If it's going to freeze, don't apply the coating. Really, you shouldn't be applying it below 5 degrees Celsius again. It needs that time to cure.